Unit 4, Lesson 6 test. Number 1. Which of the following is considered a contact force? A. The force between two magnets. B. The gravitational pull of a planet. C. Friction between an object and air. D. The force between two charged particles. Number 2. Which term describes the tendency of a moving object to continue moving at the same velocity unless an unbalanced force acts on it? A. Inertia. B. Friction. C. Gravity. D. Acceleration. Number 3. An index card is placed across the top of a drinking glass. A coin is then placed on top of the index card. A student quickly flicks the card sideways off the glass. Which of the following explains why the coin falls into the glass rather than moving to the side with the index card? A. Newton's first law of motion. B. Newton's second law of motion. C. Newton's third law of motion. D. Newton's law of universal gravitation. Number 4. Which of the following is an example of a force that acts at a distance? A. An airplane experiences friction as it moves through air. B. A book experiences a normal force as it rests on a table. C. A soccer ball experiences a force as it is kicked across a field. D. A magnet is pushed away when it is brought near the end of another magnet. Number 5. Why is the magnetic force considered to be an action at a distance force? A. Magnets must be far apart in order to exert force. B. Magnets do not have to touch each other to experience a force. C. Magnets push each other apart to increase the distance between them. D. Magnets must be large in size to exert a force that is strong enough to notice. Number 6. Why is the friction force considered to be a contact force? A. Friction affects only solid objects. B. Friction always acts in the same direction. C. Friction is produced when objects slide past one another. D. Friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction of an object's motion. Number 7. A box of books is placed on the floor. The following picture shows a push and a pull acting on the box. What is the net force toward the right on the box? A. 0 newtons. B. 50 newtons. C. 100 newtons. D. 2,500 newtons. Number 8. Jessica is comparing two different balls. One ball has a mass of 1 kilogram. The other ball has a mass of 2 kilograms. She pushes each with a force of 100 newtons. How does the acceleration of the two balls compare? A. The 1 kilogram ball accelerates at the same as the 2 kilogram ball. B. The 1 kilogram ball accelerates half as much as the 2 kilogram ball. C. The 1 kilogram ball accelerates twice as much as the 2 kilogram ball. D. The 1 kilogram ball accelerates 4 times as much as the 2 kilogram ball. Number 9. During a baseball game, a hitter strikes a ball with a bat. When this happens, the ball and the bat exert a force on each other. Why does the ball accelerate away from the bat more than the bat accelerates away from the ball? A. The ball has less mass, so it exerts less force on the bat. B. The ball has greater velocity before the collision, so the force affects the ball more than it affects the bat. C. The bat exerts more force on the ball because the batter is exerting a force on the bat as it hits the ball. D. The bat has less mass, so the equal force on the ball and the bat causes a greater acceleration on the ball. Number 10. The following picture shows forces acting on a box. If the box remains motionless, which statement is true? A. F and F friction have equal strength. B. F friction has the greater strength than F. C. F friction, F gravity, and F table all have exactly the same strength. D. F table and F friction have the same strength, and F and F gravity have the same strength. Number 11. Imagine a box floating in space. The following picture shows all the forces acting on this box. What is the net vertical force on this box? A, 50 newtons upwards, B, 100 newtons upwards, C, 50 newtons downwards, D, 100 newtons downwards. Number 12. Consider two objects whose masses are 100 grams and 200 grams. The smaller object strikes the larger object with a force of 500 newtons. According to Newton's third law of motion, which force does the larger object exert on the smaller force? A, 250 newtons, B, 500 newtons, C, 1,000 newtons, D, 1,500 newtons. Number 13. A moving object collides with a stationary object. Which of the following statements is true according to Newton's third law of motion? A. Each object exerts a force on the other, and the two forces are equal and in opposite directions. B. Each object exerts a force on the other, and the two forces are the same in magnitude and direction. C. Each object exerts a force on the other, and the two forces are proportional to the masses of the objects. D. The moving object exerts a force on the stationary object, but the stationary object does not exert a force on the moving object. Number 14. A soccer player kicks the ball. According to Newton's third law of motion, the player's foot exerts a force on the ball. The ball exerts a force on the foot. Why don't the forces cancel out to result in a net force of 0? A. The ball moves before the forces can cancel out. B. The forces become unbalanced due to air resistance. C. The force on the ball is greater than the force on the foot. D. The force is exerted on different objects, so they are not balanced forces. Number 15. Two equal forces act in opposite directions on an object A. Two unequal forces act in opposite directions on object B. If these are the only forces acting on the objects A and B, which of the following conclusions are true? Only object A will accelerate. B. Only object B will accelerate. C. Both object A and object B will accelerate. D. Neither object A nor object B will accelerate. Number 16. The diagram below shows forces acting on a box. As the force F is applied, the box does not move. Which of these statements correctly describes the forces? A. The net force is acting in an upward direction. B. The net force is acting to the left. C. The net force is moving to the right. D. The net force is 0 and all the forces are balanced. Number 17. Based on the information below, which team will win this tug of war? A. Team A. B. Team B. Number 18. What is Newton's second law of motion? A. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion at the same speed and direction unless it experiences an unbalanced force. B. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of force applied. C. Whenever one object exerts a force on a second object, the second object exerts an equal and opposite force on the first. Number 19. What is Newton's first law of motion? A. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion at the same speed and direction unless it experiences an unbalanced force. B. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of force applied. C. Whenever an object exerts a force on a second object, the second object exerts an equal and opposite force on the first. Number 20. What is inertia? A. The tendency of all objects to resist a change in motion. B. The force of friction preventing a box from sliding. C. The acceleration of an object caused by gravity. D. Mass times acceleration.